mm. Mm. Hey, it's January 4th. It is the Morning Cryptos, and it's Mark Shepard, and I am a proud math phobic type person. And I kind of bit the bullet the other day, and I started learning about moving averages and Bollinger Bears and Bollinger Bands and RSI and stochastics and all kinds of other big words, Fibonacci things. And I'm still learning, and I'm going to learn right in front of you. And if you want something to laugh at, this is probably the thing to watch today. So let's start the music and let's get into it. All right, confession, I already peeked at all the markets. I took a position in Verge yesterday and the day before because I saw Verge was down. And I've been watching Verge because I've noticed when everything else was down earlier over the holidays, Verge was up. And then when I noticed everything was up, Verge was down. And I'm just kind of paying attention to that. And there was some FUD going on with Verge and some misinformation being disseminated by some weird people and some nonsense with John McAfee. It was this fascinating story. Just Google Verge and John McAfee, and evidently he was demanding payment for pumping their coin, but I don't know if that's a rumor. It's like, ugh. And I prefer just to kind of watch the patterns on the charts. And I noticed Verge was down. And since I'm talking about it, I guess I will go to the chart here. Binance. And I'll check the news in a minute. It's nice to interrupt routines and patterns anyway. So as you can see, Verge is up today. I bought it down here. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take my profits. So before I did the Morning Cryptos, I took my profits on Verge, and I did pretty well with it. I'm pleased. I was in and I was out, and I'm kind of leaning towards using some of these tools. And let me just show you a little bit what I did, and hopefully it won't confuse you too much. And then we'll look at see what else is going on. So down here at the bottom of the chart, I have this RSI thing, and when the RSI is over this line, and I'll make this just a little bit bigger here. Evidently, when it's over this line, that indicates that it's overbought, and when it comes down to this bottom line and goes below it, that indicates it's oversold. And a lot of times, if it's oversold, that's a good time to get in. Not always, but and so I didn't get into Verge because of this new RSI thing. I just learned about this RSI thing the other day. And so, trying to kind of keep an eye on stuff like that. I'm going to shrink it down for a second here. And then the other thing that I played with is moving averages. I have a 50-day, a 100-day, and a 200-day moving average. And the way you set those up is you just go to your indicators or your studies, and you type in moving average, and you just click this like 3 times, boom, boom, boom. And then you come here to the little gizmo, the little gear, and you adjust it. So I have a 50-day moving average, a 100-day, and a 200-day. And the thing is with Verge, you only see the 50-day because the chart isn't long enough. So I thought, I can't use it. But it actually seems to work pretty well on the 1-hour chart. So when I pull up the 1-hour chart, what we have is this orange line. And the idea is once the orange line, the top line, the 50-day, crosses the 100-day, you're kind of looking for something to go down, right? And if it crosses the 200-day, it's like, oh, okay, not so good. So what I was thinking, looking at the 1 hour, was that, okay, Verge is having a pump, and I don't know if it can recover. It hasn't been down that long. So I don't know if this is a long-term position or a get in and get out. And I'm practicing getting in and getting out. And I actually got out above this kind of right in this 13, I don't know where it was, up here, it was in this area. But I got in down here. So that was pretty cool. I got in low, and then there was a pump, and I just grabbed my money and ran. So that was interesting. But, and I don't know if this is usable on the 5-minute, but on the 5-minute, you can see, boom, it crossed back up here. And we've had a boost, but then there's all this selling because there's a lot of other people out there who seem to know how to do this. And they're like, okay, it's up. I'm going to grab my money and run. So that's one group of people. There's another group of people that's just going to hold. And right now, I'm here. I have the time. I'm going to study this. I'm going to frickin' learn how to do this. So you can play with these moving averages on 15-minute chart. Once this line that, the 50-day crosses again and crosses back up, it looks like something's going on, right? So we have that. And then this other indicator, and I can just hide these with these little eyeballs here, hide that. Then we can pull up this thing called Bollinger Bands. And to me, Bollinger Bands, the main thing it's for is these little squeeze points. And we had a squeeze point just yesterday. And it seems like it was squeezing, and I'm like, okay, that looks like a buy signal. And I'm going to throw some dough at it. So I took a decent position, and then I'm going to watch it. And so I watched it, and I was able to take some profits here. I think at 13, what was it? 13 Satoshis, something like that. It ended up being 19 cents in US dollars. And I bought in at 14 and 16. Not a huge move, but there was plenty of profit in it. And I'm like, I'll take some profit. And so I popped the profit into Bitcoin. Now I got to watch Bitcoin. And let's see what the hell Bitcoin's doing to see, can I trust my profit there in Bitcoin, or do I need to buy something else pretty much right away with my Bitcoin? And so I'm going to hide all this stuff here, and I'm going to go back to a 1-hour chart on Bitcoin and see if I can figure anything out from this stuff here. And I probably won't bore you with doing this for everything, but I'm trying to understand this. And on Bitcoin, notice down here, it's gone down below this 30, what they call the 30. And so that may indicate, hey, it's down here a couple of times. It may be oversold. It may just be fear and panic, and this is all I'm learning from DataDash. So people, I don't know this. I'm learning this, and I highly recommend DataDash's introduction to different trading tools. Really good job. I think he's done a great job of explaining it. And rather than, please don't learn this for me. I'm just trying to learn it by explaining it, because I find if I can explain it, and if I come to a place where I'm like, oh, I don't know, then I go back and I look and I go, oh, and I answer my own questions. It just helps me to talk it out. So if you're patient enough to watch this, God bless you. You're awesome. And if you see something that I'm really totally off on, particularly Sven, if you're watching this, and I haven't, I'm still working through this, people. I'm just grinding through all these different ones and seeing which ones I like the best. But in Bitcoin, on this RSI thing, relative strength indicator, it's kind of coming back down here a little bit. So I'm not so sure I want to leave my Bitcoin in there. Now, if I were to just look at this on the 1 hour chart, what do I see with my normal tools that I had been using, okay? And what I see is a wedge, right? I see these rising bottoms, but the tops are lowering as well. And in my short experience, wedges mean something's going to happen. It can either move up or down. We have quite a bit of support down here. So your guess is as good as mine with Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin is pretty susceptible to news items. But it could also be just kind of working its way into a sideways channel. I don't know. So let's play with some of these other things. Let's look at Bollinger Bands. And I just like saying that. Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands. Let's get rid of this. All right, so looking at Bitcoin here through the eyes of the Bollinger Bands, what do we see? We see it's down below its bottom line here. So what does that mean? It means it's either going down more or it's coming up, right? Is that helpful? I don't know. Some of this stuff is just too much damn information. So, okay, maybe Bollinger Bands doesn't reveal the revelation of all revelations. Let's let's look at these moving averages. And we're on a 1 hour chart. Oh, the 50-day has crossed back up over the 200-day. It crossed the 100-day back here on the 2nd. So what does that mean? Sometimes when it crosses, that means it's about to go. Ooh, so maybe I should just hang on to the Bitcoin that I just took in profit. And see, that's the thing I'm trying to describe is this. You take profits in Verge, for example. I took profits in Verge, and then now I put the profits in Bitcoin. But I don't want my profits to disappear if Bitcoin takes a dump on me, right? So then I got to either find another project that looks like it's low and ready to pop, or I got to put it into US dollar tether somehow. And Verge was not a US dollar tether project. It was a Bitcoin project, so I had to take the profits into Bitcoin. So it's those kind of considerations, that three-dimensional kind of thing that is, I think, causing my my brain to go into overdrive and build up new neurons. So learning is like one of the best things you can do for your brain. And this is way better than doing Sudoku puzzles. You know what I mean? Evidently, here's a news item just shows up. John McAfee warns of advanced hacking after Twitter account hijacking. And it's interesting that John McAfee supposedly gets his Twitter account hijacked. And he's like an anti-hacker guy. Like he's a computer security guy. Interesting. So that'll be an interesting story to follow. But that's kind of, so I was digging into Verge and I noticed that there was all this FUD, from John McAfee. So maybe Verge is boosting, now that some of that's cleared up and it's revealed that it was FUD. But either way, I want to be able to make money on all of this stuff, right? So the question is, will Bitcoin hold at this point? This little indicator seems to say that it will. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I am still learning. Still learning. All right, so that's enough for my preamble. Let's just check the news real quick and see what the hell is going on over here. Bitcoin price, Bitcoin Ethereum, blah, blah, blah. Ethereum price could hit 1,000 later today, the Merkle. Okay, whatever. All right, so I'm going to get rid of some of these. And for now, I'm going to keep my RSI way at the bottom. And let's grind through the usual characters here. I'm going to try to do it fairly quickly. And I'm going to use the 1 hour chart for most of this because a lot of these don't have enough data in them. So one of the things I learned from Data Dash yesterday was that a descending wedge is actually more bullish than an ascending wedge. I thought it was the opposite. And so that's interesting. So we actually have here a descending wedge in Bitcoin Cash. The top seemed to be dropping a little bit more than the bottoms. I don't know. Okay, so that's one way to look at it. Okay, we have this wedge. And whenever I've seen these wedges, particularly like Bitcoin Cash, I was watching over the summer, it was just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And that's good. That's like a setup for a move, I think. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that. As I am embarrassed to admit, I got suckered in up here. I think I'm in at 3,400. So the tighter this goes, the more likely it's going to pop. And if it does pop up to its previous resistance, I will take profits and get the hell out of it. So that's one thought. Let's look at this moving average crap. Oh, this is crazy. I never would have thought that I could do this, and these are not that complicated. And if I can do this, people, you can do this. And the thing is, I don't want to confuse you with too much information, and that's the way I felt for several months. I just didn't want any more information. There's enough information in the market. But at a certain point, you want some kind of an edge. You want some kind of a tool to just help you a little bit. So again, we have this crossover of the 50-day now back up above the 100 and 200-day averages, moving averages. So, you can think of these averages as kind of support, right? And, it went all the way down. It went all the way down. It's been sitting on its 200-day support here. And now it's dropped below that. So what is that? I don't know what that means. I really don't know, people. So I'm just trying to figure this out, okay? I'm trying to figure this out in front of you. This is not intended in any shape or form to be investment advice other than to make you feel good that you maybe know more than I do, or to make you feel good that you're learning this and I'm learning this and we're in the same boat. That's what this is about, okay? So that's the moving averages. But you see here, and this is what I don't get. Once it crossed down, it's kind of an indication. I don't know, but yeah, whatever. I'm just going to, yeah. All right. I could spend all day blabbing about this, and I don't think bringing anything intelligent to the conversation. So let's get rid of those. And let's look at the Bollinger Bands, because I like saying Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands, baby. Now, back here, when I was saying, hey, this thing's going to move, where was I saying it was going to move? There was one spot where I was like watching it. It was back in the fall. And it was down here. And I was just like, this thing's going to move. But I didn't, at the time, I didn't know if I believed in it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really understand. And so I was not in for a lot of the moves. And this is, I think, this confused me here. This rise. I thought a rising kind of wedge was an indication of bullishness, but evidently it was an indication that it was about to go down. But so this is the Christmas the pre-Christmas fall here, all of this stuff. So, okay, so Bollinger Bands. It's like a snake, and if you see a place where it's kind of tighter, it looks like that's squeezing and going to send some movement up, right? All right, I don't know. Let's look at this RSI stuff now. Now, the RSI, we're down here close to this oversold line. I don't know if that means it's oversold or if it's just close to the oversold line, right? So, all right. So I can't do this for all of them, but people, that's what I'm learning today. And I think I'm going to just stop there, before I embarrass myself too much more. Let's go back to Bitcoin. And will Bitcoin go up? Will it go down? I don't know. Do these tools really help? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What's your favorite tool? And how do you use it? And or do you just avoid tools altogether? Do you just kind of more go with fundamental stuff? How do you make your decisions? And what are you looking for? What magic genie would make your trading easier and better? And I'm still learning all this stuff, people. I'm just going to play with this for the next couple of weeks, if not for the rest of my life, to learn. And I think there's so much to learn here, and I love to learn, and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. If you like this, and I can't really imagine why you would, other than as entertainment value and the opportunity to make fun of an idiot, or maybe to realize that, you know what? If that guy Mark Shepard could do this, I could do this too. And that's maybe what I want you to come away with. And I'm not suggesting that you become a geniusly brilliant Bollinger Band buddy, but we could be Bollinger Band buddies. Forget Thunder buddies. Let's become Bollinger Band buddies. I just like saying it. I like saying that a lot. I also like saying Fibonacci, and I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm working on that today. So, people, get paid to learn, earn while you learn. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave them below. If you did like this for some strange reason, please give me the thumbs up. I need it desperately today because all my illusions of thinking I knew what I was doing have literally dissipated, and I'm back to beginner's mind, which I think is healthy. And if you like this, please subscribe. Check out the sound healing hypnosis video that I put up yesterday, and I could use a little love on that one. Give some thumbs up over there as well. And it's all about transformation and positive change in your own mind. And I think my music's worth your attention, so check that out. And the reason I am doing all this trading is because I'm trying to raise money so I can create the kind of music experience that I want to make without having to worry about trying to sell tickets or sell CDs that nobody seems to want to buy anymore, and to try to use my funds to figure out how to actually get my music out into the world where it can do people some damn good. So that's it for today. It's a beautiful snowy day in upstate New York. It's cold as hell. I'm staying indoors and I'm trading. I love you guys. Peace, grooviness, over and out. Start the music.